That you can. Because a lot of times you really don't see yourself going 100%.
And I know you're an artist yourself, so I mean, this is better fit for you in that sort of realm. You know, I really love this, but what does that actually look like?
So, what are your expectations that you had for your team? I believe, was it the Suns?
Well, it was Brooklyn Nets.
Oh,
You know, I'm sort of. Well, I guess you can say it's like in the NBA. It's more of a individual sort of sport in the sense of how the media portrays it.
right.
You know, you're looking at LeBron, Steph. Those are the people, and like Giannis. You know, like the main people. Those are the ones that are sort of selling the product of the NBA.
Right.
Not so much a team. You know, so I come from that sort of standpoint. You know, back when. Yeah, we don't want to go back all the way down to, you know, but originally back in the old days, you know, a Chicago Bulls fan. But really, so after KD left Golden State, you know, loved the Brooklyn Nets. I
Right.
love that package, you know, with KD, Kyrie, and then when they also got James Harden and everything.
Right.
And of course, you know, Harden's, you know, over with the Sixers. So my expectation leading up before they got into the break was that Brooklyn Nets were going to make a run.
Right.
I didn't know anything about, you know, Kyrie was going to try to do this deal, you know, to see if he can re-up his contract and everything. I figured with everything that was going on that he was just basically just going to lay low, wait to the end of the season and
Right.
see how things go, you know, not even try to mess with that. So, I don't know. I sort of was looking at Brooklyn was going to make a run, hopefully get past the second round,
Right.
you know, this year. So, when all of that went through,
Is existential, and fear is only the absence of love.
Ice, ice, baby, ain't got no heart because you stole it. I'm in love with you. When I say that, I'm not trolling. Ice, ice, baby, ain't got no heart because you stole it. I'm in love with you. When I say that, I'm not trolling. Ice, ice, baby, ain't got no heart 'cause you stole it. Rolling, rolling, man, my shooters got that ass on polish. Ice, ice, baby, ain't got no heart 'cause you stole it. I'm in love with you. When I say that, I'm not trolling. Ain't have to do me like that. Ain't have to do me like that.
when Kyrie pretty much asked for a trade, went over to Dallas. KD went to the Suns. So all of a sudden, I'm a Suns fan. So whatever you guys want to think, whatever you want to think, I got your little phone going
Oh,
on.
hell no, just happened. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. Don't worry
Okay,
about that.
then. All right. Was that Monty Williams?
Whoa. He had a job, man. You don't know where he might win. He might get after you.
No, I think he's going to sit this one out because, I mean, he's owed $21 million, you know, just basically sitting at home.
Yeah, that's true.
So I guess to wrap it up on my part, as far as that, I like what the Suns had. I know everybody talked about they didn't really have depth.
Right.
I didn't really get into that part of having depth. They had players who NBA quality players.
Right.
I just believe, if you play them, and I guess maybe I'm getting a little bit because the only thing you really asked me was what was my thoughts going into
Oh,
the
no,
playoffs.
I mean, this,
Okay.
I mean, this is part of your thoughts. I mean, this is what you're thinking before it starts.
Yeah, so I mean, I thought with the additions that they got with Terrence Ross, I thought he was going to be a great, outside shooter and everything
Right.
like that. I thought they had a chance. I wasn't on the bandwagon of how the betting community was saying, they're projected. I know how that goes. It's like they always project this, and you get all excited, and it never turns out the way you're supposed to, the way they say it's going to happen.
Right.
So, that's what I was sort of expecting was them to make a deep run into the playoffs.
Right.
But I didn't think it was going to be how it turned out.
Yeah, short lived like it was.
Yeah. Chris Paul getting hurt. Aiden really didn't show up how I thought he was going to show up.
Right.
Again, Monty really wasn't coaching the way I expected as far as making adjustments,
Right.
in that Denver game. And even, had some hard times just even with the Clippers. They were out, both of their stars.
Right.
They were still struggling with that. So I wasn't impressed with it. It wasn't a good look. And, unfortunately, Monty, lost his job because of all of that. I don't think he had anything to do with that. But, that's what happens. You get a new owner. They spend all this money. They want things to happen quick. So
Right.
I'm definitely going to be looking forward to seeing who their coach is. If it's going to be a new coach,
Mm-hmm.
in the sense of someone that's not on that radar, like a Nick Nurse or Doc Rivers or someone like that.
Right.
If it's someone that's like an assistant coach or something like that,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I'm not gonna like that because think about it. You could have stuck with Monty. He's proven.
They had
You know?
2-time coach of the year.
Yeah. So now you're going to go and get assistant coach. So in other words, like, what are you expecting?
Almost like a Celtics type of ordeal.
Yeah. I don't know if you're going to get lucky with that. How the Celtics are. So far. So
Yeah, because watching that, Jokic just being just dominant as he was playing in the playoffs as he is right now. It's you look to KD, Devin Booker, like you said, Chris Paul getting hurt. You look to those two players as like, all right, we can't lose with them.
Baby, why you hurting? I've been out here swerving, more passionate when I'm curving. There's more action when I'm swerving. Baby, why you hurting?
I mean, that's what you're thinking. I mean, honestly, that's what a lot of people are thinking. Like, you got KD, Devin Booker, one of the kings of the mid ranges, and both kings of mid range. I think there's like four. I think the other was DeMar DeRozan is like somebody else.
yeah. You had those three, and then you had DeRozan was tops in the
Yeah.
mid range. Yeah.
So I mean, right there, it's just kind of like, how do you lose that game? How do you lose those games? And like, you still think like, when you think back on it, you look at that. I think it was Game 6 they ended on. They lost 4-2.
Yeah, I think that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's like you look back on that Game 6, and you're thinking there's a Game 7. Like, I mean, you're almost how they do it in the college football. They print both sides of the newspaper for like who was going to win.
Right.
So it's just like right then and there, you're thinking, oh yeah, the newspaper's already printed for Game 7, but it's really not. And you're like, whoa. And I mean, as being a Sixers fan, I know there's gonna be a lot of backlash for this, but as being a Sixers fan, I understand that feeling of like, what's happening. It should. I always feel like we should be facing the Heat, but then it's like at the same point in time when you have an at-home Game 6 to close up the series, and you lose that critical game. In the fourth quarter, you guys just don't show. In the whole game, you're fighting. In the fourth quarter, you don't show. With the MVP on the team, we'll say this: it's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking because it's like you think your team's supposed to be in the next round all the time, but you
Right.
think about it, and you're like, how do we really lose? And then you look at the games that are being played, and sometimes those stars just didn't show up.
But do you think it's that, or is it Doc Rivers? I mean, Doc Rivers done been here before, and it just seems like he doesn't make. To me, it just seems like he's not making the in-game adjustments. The players are trying to figure things out. Several times I used to see Maxey going back and forth with Harden. Like, I thought that was you. You supposed to
Right,
have that play.
right.
You missed your assignment. They going back and forth, and it's like, okay, Doc, you're the coach. What's going on here?